Hi everyone and welcome to Homo Ludens, the channel on history and board games. And we are back like every Sunday for a live stream. And this one is actually quite exciting because we're going to play a classic among classic. We're going to be playing Kingmaker, the newer version. And this is why we have Alan with us. First of all, I would like to thank you, Alan, for a couple of things. First of all, making the time tonight, really appreciate it. And the other thing, and something that I need to disclose, you actually gave me a copy of this game during ERCON. Earlier this year, where we met actually with Joe and Pierre because we were having that stand over there. And there's a whole video about that, by the way, if you're interested in what we did to promote historical gaming at ERCON in 2023. But yeah, I was really excited when I met with you because you're the head of a publisher that I like quite a lot, Surprise Terror Games. And I also realized during the convention that you were the brain behind the new version of Kingmaker. So I thought it would be awesome to have you on the show. And I decided to invite a couple of people for this. So my usual Brits, Joe and Pierre, I thought would be thematic to have them on board. And then I wanted to invite someone who's seems quite enthusiastic about the game. And I know that he's been loving it for quite a while. So Cole, nice to have you again on the show to play this classic.
I'm so happy to embarrass myself about English geography in front of you.
That's gonna be fun.
So is Fred. So is Fred, Cole. So is Fred.
Yeah. And I live there, so it's even funnier. So that's gonna be great. And I can see that there is already quite a lot of you in the chat. So I want to take the time to thank all of you for attending this session. Of course, the video will be available after the live stream, so don't worry if you miss it. And I think we can probably jump into it. We won't be playing straight away. I just wanted to have a quick chat with Alan first about the game itself. And of course, to all of my guests, if you have questions that you want to ask Alan, feel free to jump in, and same in the chat. If you want to ask question to Alan or any of us, please feel free to do so. Maybe first of all, Alan, so you've been working on this new version of the game, and I was wondering what's new in this edition that was released last year compared to the traditional, like old school Kingmaker that existed before.
Yeah, the main purpose of the new edition was to make this a slicker, well, to be frank, shorter version. So you can play a 4 or 5 player game in an evening comfortably. Now, to do that, we did make some changes. So I suppose the main 3 changes we made were, firstly, we have regional movement on the map instead of the old counting squares, which it used to be called, which was actually area movement. We've got large regions. When you see the board, you'll see we have large regions, and you just move your piece from one region to an adjacent region, and you can go anywhere in that adjacent region if you want to. That speeds up play a lot because you can see very readily where you can actually move to by normal movement. We've kept road movement exactly the same, and sea movement exactly the same as in the old game. The second one we did was, rather than having victory conditions, just having the last royal piece alive crowned, you can now win with prestige points. So you don't have to have that horrible situation where somebody runs away to Calais with a royal piece and you can never get to them because you haven't got enough ships. So instead of that, you earn prestige points for holding certain specific cards, so offices and cities and such like, as you'd expect. And also for winning major battles, you also get points for that. And when you have a certain number of prestige points, and we've also gone through the event deck, half of the event deck, so a decent length of time of game, then you can win. And you can also win as an alliance as well, using that prestige victory too. But the third one is really, really simple and straightforward. In the old game, there was one set of noble pieces which were all white. And so you had one set of punch counters to do, and in order to know whose stack of nobles it was on the board, you had a marker on top or by the side or something. So it was very hard to see whose stack was whose. In the new version, you've got colored pieces for each player, so each player has their own color. So in our game here, we've got blue, red, yellow, and silver, I suppose you call it. And it makes it easy to see whose nobles are where, and that's makes things so much easier because you don't have to agonize about, is that my piece or is that my opponent's piece? Because you can easily who's got what. Those are the main. There are some other changes. There's a lot of other changes.
I had the idea that the set was only with generic counters. I realized when I punched it that there was one that was generic with no faction, and I was wondering what it was for. And I guess it's to play the classic version of the game, which must be so painful actually. So that
it's actually to play. It's actually to play the little battle subsystem that you can do as one of the options. For those options, you need a set of pieces with the backs the same. The backs have to be, because in the battle you can put your pieces face down in the second row, and they can't. People aren't supposed to know who they are. So they're actually specifically for that little battle subsystem, which we're not playing that today. But technically, yes, you can play the old classic with the old pieces as well if you wanted to. Yeah.
Okay, but that's great. And I see that there is in the rulebook a lot of small variants and additional options and everything. Were there those in the original game, or is it gathering from the community and aggregating it into a single edition, everything that has been brought by player themselves?
It's aggregating everything. So one of the decisions we had to make when we were looking at the mechanics of publishing is what were we going to include in the game, and we decided. Well, Gibsons decided, we discussed it a lot, that we would have the new version, Kingmaker II. We would also include on the back of the board a redrawn old classic map. So you have the old classic game as well with its own set of rules, and you also have what we call extended classic, which is the old advanced game. For those of people who know the old game, the old advanced game, you can play that as well. Plus a whole range of options and variants. Now, well, as you mentioned, Fred, over the years, since this came out in 1974, over the 20 years of main playing in the 70s and 80s and 90s to an extent, lots and lots of house rules and special cards were developed. In fact, Avalon Hill published a couple of packs of extra cards you could play. So we've reviewed all of that lot, and we've included the best variants and options. Well, the ones that I thought were best anyway. The best variants and options are in the game as well. So if you like playing with things like Gales at Sea, which just automatically sink all the ships at sea when you draw them, if you like playing with things like that, and Royal Pardons, French mercenaries, all these things, they are in here, and you can put those cards in as options. Now, in addition, a friend of mine, Steve Froud, developed a solo version of the game. So that's the fourth way in which you can play this game. So the solo. It's not one of those solos which you use to introduce yourself to the game. It's actually for expert play, and it uses the old classic rules. It's called the Solo Challenge because it is a challenge. But it's very good. It's very good. It uses a bot to control the opposition pieces, so you're effectively playing a two-player game against a bot. But it's good. It's good.
Don't you miss a big part of the game, because it feels like there is a lot of negotiation around the table, there is a lot of politics, and I guess you're not doing that in the solo bots, right?
That's correct. Yeah, it's a technical, more mechanical, tactical approach, or strategic approach, I suppose you could say. But it's a two-player one. Yes, good, because Kingmaker is a political and military game. That's very important. Alliances can be useful. You need to find out who your friends are, and then who your real friends are in Kingmaker. That's quite key.
Okay, that's great. Maybe a couple of questions that we have from the chat, and I think this first one is for Pierre, and that's a question from someone called Stuart, who's asking, is someone going to give a summary of the history of the World of Roses, just to make sure that we are really aware of what's happening on the board? And I think, Pierre, you suggested right before we went live that you felt really comfortable summing up the World of Roses in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, super confident. But I don't want to take up too much of our time, so I would point everyone to the book itself has an amazing summary, genuinely a really good summary. Also, Stuart himself has written an article quite recently about the World of Roses, so I'd point people to Stuart's article about the World of Roses.
That's
and the background.
That's good to know. And another question.
So I should say the background here was written by Graham Evans, who's an expert on
fantastic.
Wars of the Roses. He's written a couple of books on Wars of the Roses. He's very good. He also did some of the background for things like Plantagenet as well. So he's a he's a wargamer and designer in his own right. He's a very good designer too.
Have you played Plantagenet, Alan? Or
Yeah, I have played Plantagenet. I've got Plantagenet. It's really, really good. It's a totally different take from Kingmaker, but it's a very good game.
I think it could be fun.
You have to get carts. You need carts.
Yeah,
because it's got logistics and stuff.
It could be a fun follow-up to this game.
Yeah.
Actually, to play Plantagenet afterwards. There is a question from Hendrik here in the chat asking if we will talk about the 12-page combat procedure included by Avalon Hill to make it a war game or not. I guess not, but yeah.
Not. Hopefully not. hopefully, really, hopefully not.
Good, that's good. Great. But I think then probably what we can do is start looking at the board and maybe discuss briefly what is the objective of the games and what are we going to do during the next hour and a half, I guess.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Well, the components of the game. You've got the board in the center there, and as I said, you can even see from this range the purple lines on the board, which you can actually see. Those are the regions for the regional movements. Those are easy. There's also a network of orange lines, which are roads, and the roads basically allow you to go fast through the country as long as you control the towns, cities, and castles on the road. You can go as far as you want. So you only get stopped on the road if you reach an enemy position. So that's that. And sea movement hasn't changed from the old game. It's basically you count up to five sea areas. But the other major components, we've got various cards. Your faction basically is your noble, your crown cards. Everybody's got their own faction made. Now we're using the preset factions in this game, where what we've done is we've got preset faction cards which list the cards in a particular faction. Here we have Fred's faction. Now we've got 2 nobles in the faction, and most of the factions have got 2 nobles, and they count as units. So basically, the card there with the shield on it is the noble card. All the cards that are with that noble are attached to that noble, and that noble's piece on the board represents all the troops with that noble. The numbers on the cards are the troop strengths. So for convenience, because we've got a digital system here, we've put a counter at the top. We have an electronic counter at the top. So in this case, you've got 100 troops in both noble units. Now, there are things periods in the game when you can swap cards around, but I won't go into that until we reach them. So basically, at the start of the game, most factions have got a 200 or thereabouts in total troop numbers in 2 or 3 nobles. Some have got ships, most haven't. And you've also got a free move card, which is on the left there, just above the playing pieces. The free move basically allows you to do another move for one of your nobles, and can be very helpful. We've also got the whole crown pack at the top of the board. On the left at the top of the board, we've got the rest of the crown deck. There we go, the one with the crown on it, surprisingly enough. That includes all the other cards, like the ones you've seen in the factions there. And as we go through the game, you acquire more of those, and those go into your hand. Now, the cards in your hand you can play at any time, more or less. So you want to stock up with cards so that when you're just about to have a battle, you can surprise your opponent by playing extra troops to your army and surprise them. We also have above the crown deck the event deck. That's the one with the guy with the axe on it. At the start of every turn, you will take an event deck card, and we do what it says on the event deck, on the event card. Whatever you do, don't shuffle the event deck because it's set up so that it has a couple of Clamour for Parliament cards. It has a Clamour for Parliament card in each quarter of the deck, and that controls whether or not the king can call Parliament, which is the primary thing that's the exercise of royal power, and it allows you to get from the this position here from the Chancery, the cards that are in the Chancery. So in this case, it's got the Marshal of England, and in this version, you're allowed to see the other one, which is Captain of Calais. Those two offices, that the yellow cards are all offices, those would be available for allocation to people who haven't already got an office. So titled nobles who haven't already got an office can have one. You can have one and only one office. When nobles die, and heaven forbid that any nobles would die in this game, but their offices and titles go to Chancery, so they can be reallocated by the king in due course. And we'll get into that later. So the other pieces, the pieces on the board itself, you have got the royal pieces themselves. You've got Henry in London. The Lancastrians are red bordered. So you've got Henry in London. You've got Margaret of Anjou in Kenilworth, and you've got Edward of Westminster in Coventry. So they're kind of central. Those are the three Lancastrian heirs to the throne, and they're in that order. Henry's king at the moment. So if you control Henry, you get king, and you get 4 prestige if you get Henry, which is when we consider that to win the game, you need in a 4-player game, you need 11 prestige in your faction to win. So 4 prestige is massive. Or an alliance of 2 factions, you need 15 prestige. So the Lancastrians around the centre. Around the outside are the Yorkists, which are the big square counters, which have got a white background. And you've got Richard of York, who's head of the House of York. Short bloke with gammy leg, it says here. He is the heir. So if you get him, you could crown him, and he would become, in this case, Richard III, but not that Richard III. If he dies, then you could crown Edward of March, who is second in line. If he also dies, you could then crown George of Clarence down here in Cardigan. And finally, Richard of Gloucester down in Calais. He's the 4th in line. I'm not a Richard III fan, but that's a whole different story. Right, so what you're trying to do early in the game is get one of these royal pieces. That's your main objective. Now, in order to get them, I will have to go into a little bit of this. In order to get them, you will have to enter the fortified town where they currently are. Now, there are basically 3 main types of fortified town or city, a fortified position, if you like. The cities, London, Bristol, Norwich, and York, have got a garrison of 300. And to besiege something successfully, you have to have at least equal to the garrison and any troops that are in it. So you need 300. Now, none of you got 300, so the cities are going to be tricky. Most of the other nobles, the royal pieces, excuse me, are in either royal castles like Harlech over here. That has a garrison. These have garrisons of 200, and they have a white background to the numbers. You can see it's 200 because you've got two towers. You see, 3 towers, 3 towers on a city, 2 towers on.
That's why they made them like that.
Yeah,
clever.
And then you've got Edward of Westminster in Coventry. Coventry's got 2 towers, 200, but it's a town. 200 garrison, it's a town. And Margaret of Anjou is also in a royal castle, which is again 200. Now, the only other different one is George of Clarence. Now, he's in Cardigan. Cardigan, along with Kingston and Hereford, have got this little white flag on it. And the white flag means that they'll just let anybody in. They've got a garrison of 200, but they won't fight except to defend themselves from a besieging force. So if you occupy Cardigan, they'll protect you, and anybody who can reach George of Clarence first will take George. And of course, Richard of Gloucester is in Calais. He again, Calais is a town. It's got 200 garrison, but it's in France, so you need boats to get there. So you'd need to take 200 troops in a ship to get that. So that's where we are with that. Now, the other way to take a town, the other way to gain possession of a town or city, apart from sieging it, is to have the card that states that town or city. So, for example, the person who owns the ship of Bristol, one of the players owns the ship of Bristol, that gives ownership of Bristol, the city, as well.
Yeah.
Hence the marker, hence the sun with sun in splendor marker here, because that player owns Bristol. So if you happen to have the card which gives you possession of York or London, you could just go in there with a noble and take Richard of York or Henry VI. Now, because we arrange it like this, nobody's got those cards at the moment, but you might get lucky. You might draw it in the early turn and be able to get there straight away without having to fight. So, because what you want to do at the start of the game is try to get a royal peace, you're likely to want to target either George of Clarence and go in there straight away, Edward of March and Harlech, Edward of Westminster, Coventry, Margaret of Anjou and Kenilworth. Those are the ones you'll be primarily aiming at, because you've all got 200 troops and you could take any of those 4 relatively easily. So let's just, before we actually start, let's just go through what the turn sequence is, so you can just see it. I won't go into the detail until we actually do it. Mm-hmm. So you can easily see what the turn sequence is by turning over your preset faction card, because it has it on the back. Or if failing that, there is in fact a play A at the top of the game, at the top of the table here, and you can just pop that out, and it will show the sequence of play.
And
so
before we start, maybe there is just a couple of questions from the chat. So first we have this one question for Alan. Who is your favorite noble? Which royal peace do you win with most often? Mine is Courtenay, seeing as I'm a distant relation. So,
well, I actually quite like De Vere, Earl of Oxford. The De Vere family was not in the original game. I don't really know why, because they're a very important family in the Wars of the Roses. But De Vere, is it the 4th Earl of Oxford? The main guy, Earl of Oxford, here. He has such an interesting career, because he actually loses a battle and has to go into exile. But he spends some time as a pirate. He spends some time effectively exiled onto an island, which eventually falls to I think to Edward IV, and he's captured. And then he escapes by jumping off a castle walls. He's like a boy's own knight, really. And he ends up in Henry Tudor's army and leads the advance guard at Bosworth, I believe. So I really like De Vere. I like the coat of arms of De Vere is nice too.
And another question, and that's more regarding the TTS module. So Lee Hook is asking: is the TTS module going to be accessible on Steam's Workshop or not?
That's a very good question. This is currently a private because we were using it primarily for playtesting and for things like this. It's up to Gibsons. Now Gibsons haven't that Gibsons does the physical game. They are probably persuadable to do a release like this. For example, there is a vassal module which is in beta at the moment, so that will be coming out. So I haven't. I mean, I'm not an expert at Tabletop Simulator, and this is something which I think if we were going to launch it properly, we'd want to do some more work on this, or get somebody else to do it. So I could release it, but I'm a bit reluctant because I'm aware of the kind of rough edges on this kind of thing. So it might be a kind of watch this space one.
Nice.
Okay.
Fred can be extremely persuasive, so I'm sure you can make it happen.
Sure.
I'll try. But then, should we jump into the game? I think I'm the start player.
Okay.
And the first step is...
First thing you do is the event phase, you take an event card.
Yep. Do I show it to everyone?
Show it to everyone, because it could affect everyone.
Ooh! Storms at sea. I don't think that there are any ships
there are no ships
at sea.
So
pretty uneventful event. Good.
It's uneventful, yeah.
So then I have a movement phase.
Movement. So in your movement phase, you move all of the pieces that you've got.
And I've got 2 pieces, right?
You have 2 pieces and a ship. Your ship is currently in Plymouth, so it could go somewhere. It's not going to do much at the moment, but it could go somewhere. So you've got Berkeley and you've got Paull.
Oh, they're separate. I see. Yeah.
So where is Berkeley's
now,
here? Yeah.
The secret source. Don't tell anybody what I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
But what you can do with Paull is because he's on the road, he can go by road all the way through London, all the way up to Coventry, and that is a movement he can do. Nobody can stop you doing that.
Yeah.
You're allowed in Kingmaker II. You're allowed to go through neutral fortifications, and London is currently neutral, so they'll let you through. So he could go there. And if you look at Berkeley is
can also do it. Yeah.
Just also go to that area. So you could put both of them in there, and then you could besiege.
Yeah.
You could try. You could besiege Coventry. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for that. So I'm gonna flip it because it's not gonna be there. So I'm gonna
not fortified.
Go south, then go north, and I'm gonna stop here.
Yeah. Regional movement can't be stopped by anybody, so you're completely free. Road movement can only be blocked by enemy fortifications, not by nobles. So movement is quite simple.
And then I'm going to take Berkeley.
Yep.
And do the same. And go up, go here. And I'm going to stack the two on top of each other. Who's the white player?
That would be Cole.
Cole, can you remove your big fat hand? Thank you very much.
It's interference.
So that would be my movement phase. So I have my ship.
He doesn't need to move that. He doesn't need to move that.
Where
you don't need to move your ship.
Yeah, but it could be useful to move my ship, right?
It could be. It could be.
The
ships also, when you move them, you flip them because they've got a little symbol on them which says they're important. And then
okay. Now it's in Port in Plymouth, and then I can move it away.
Yeah.
Moving from port to the first sea area is one.
That
move,
is one. Yes.
Yeah.
So if I go here, do I block this ship?
No, you can't. There's no ships can't block other ships. No. Empty ships can go anywhere, including into any port. But if you want to take passengers, it has to be a port that you own, or an unfortified town like this. These are unfortified towns. They count as open. They count as open space. You can't own these. I should have mentioned actually all of these flag symbols. These are all home castles for nobles, and they all have a garrison of 100. So only 100. So they're okay, but they're not brilliant.
Yeah, and so what could be interesting for me to do with a ship, knowing that I don't have any units there?
Start bringing it up. Hope that no one draws a...
You can move it up to Vagneur-Jones, which is closer to you, I guess.
Yeah.
You could put it in the southwest, off the southwest coast somewhere, because you have the Chancellor Duchy of Cornwall, who gets extra troops in Cornwall. But it is also possible that you might get sent to Cornwall by the events. So the events have got peasant revolts and things like that in them.
Yeah.
So you might end up in Cornwall, and a boat there would give you the possibility of getting back to the action.
Interesting. Yeah.
Fred, if you send it to Colchester, you can help me take Richard and Calais. We can be friends.
Oh yeah, sure. Where would that be then?
That's possible.
You know where Colchester is, Fred.
You can't actually have an alliance until somebody has claimed a head of either house.
Okay.
You can't have a formal alliance until you've got.
Okay.
But Joe and I have a very trustworthy
you have an informal alliance, but
we never betray each other. That's we always do what's best for the other. So I would tend to trust him. If he says that we were in this together, I don't need a contract.
And is it the case that we can agree for Fred to transport my lords even if we're not allied? Is that correct?
Yes, you could lend the ship.
Yeah, great.
You could lend ships. Yes.
But where do you want me to go in Rochester? Why Rochester?
I didn't say Rochester. You're being very racist, Fred. I said Colchester, which is
that's the same. That's literally the same thing. But I mean, why not here?
It's just next door to where I live. I'm just lazy.
But you can. Oh yeah, okay. Fair enough.
You can move to Rye, which is an open town, because I can't go into Pevensey because there's some guy there who doesn't want to let me.
So that's what I would do. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And you're still, and you can stay at sea.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'll stay at sea. Yeah.
Great.
So those are all my movements. So now we go into the combat phase. And I have a siege here.
Yes. You have a siege.
Sieging Coventry.
And so what you do is you add a
reminder, Coventry, PunchCon, great convention in the UK. I think the tickets will be open at the end of the year, so keep an eye out for PunchCon. I think that at least 3 out of the 5 people here on stream would be there. So yeah, just keep an eye out. Okay. So I have 200.
You have 200, which is exactly what you need. So if you take an event card and flip it over.
Yep, we're going to look at just the last second half.
And flip it over. Oh, it's a free move. You keep it.
Nice.
You keep the free move and draw another one.
So that's my second free move.
You keep drawing until there's an effect.
You keep drawing until there's an effective one. And we're looking at there's a diagonal split, as you can see, in the black half. There, the black half at the bottom is the relevant bit. You ignore the odds. Yes, indeed. You ignore the odds, so the odds don't count for sieges. The siege has been successful, but you look at the killed list, and unfortunately, Barclay has croaked.
He's not important. He's not
killed by a random crossbow bolt. So, yes. Okay. Well, this is good because it illustrates a lot of the intricacies.
Indeed, this is very good. This is very good.
Well, it's a good point that like sieges are
chaotic,
instant, but they will kill your nobles sometime.
I should say they're not really instant because a turn in an average game length is say 12 turns or something. So, and that represents like the Wars of the Roses. So each turn could be many months or even years, theoretically.
Now, if he had lost all of his nobles, would he still take the city?
No. If he'd lost all of his nobles, then the city would survive because there's nobody to go in. So but in this case, Paull is still there, so he's fine. So Barclay, the Barclay card goes in the noble discard pile. And so in the crown card discard pile, and so does Lancaster and the ship.
Okay.
So that's a bit tragic.
Yeah.
And we can take Fred's control marker off Lancaster, doesn't he?
Yeah, so he hasn't got there's Lancaster and there's the ship. So those will go. Those 2 will go. Shall I do that? I can do that actually.
That's excellent.
Stick it in here.
For context, Fred is playing the Paull family, De La Paull family, who are well known for having the rags to rags sort of arc.
These two cards here, the Earl of Kent and Chancellor Duchy of Cornwall, they go to Chancery, as we mentioned before.
Yep.
That means that Chancery is even more valuable now.
So you can put it down, and I'm going to put this
there.
On
We
top.
go. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Now, we would normally also remove from the board all the things that Barclay controlled.
I took Lancaster off already. And it was
there's a few more, I think.
Was it
the ship? The ship just the ship technically is at sea. The ship is technically at sea. If it was under the control of somebody else, it would disappear when it gets to land. So, but I would just take it off. Just take it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Stick it in Ireland for a moment. Okay. So anything else that Barclay controlled, like Barclay Castle, there we go. Barclay Castle's gone. The Devon and Cornwall, Plymouth and Oxford. Is it Oxford? Actually,
Oxford. Yeah, Wallingford is Treasurer of England, so I think Oxford probably was on Barclay.
Yeah.
It's suspiciously convenient for
Suspicious, isn't it? Yeah.
And you said, Alan, that you actually seeded the deck to start with, and you give me the advice of going to Coventry. So I'm just trying to piece out, figure out what was actually happening in this game. I
am just trying to screw you over. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, I just wanted just to be clear. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Okay. Now, however, Paull has taken Coventry, so you can put a marker in there.
Cool.
Put one of those red markers in there. So you've got Coventry.
Yeah, I have a few available red markers, so that's perfect.
Yeah, that means you now have got Edward of Westminster.
Awesome.
He goes with Pole. No, he stays.
Oh,
He stays with Pole.
We have a card for him yet. Let's just show
there was a card. There was a card for him in the stack.
We could stack him. So
yeah, we can stack him. Okay.
Let's get Edward of Westminster. There you go. So you've got Edward of Westminster. Now, the most important thing, of course,
a baby. You're giving me a baby.
No,
I lost. God, what is this? What is this? Like,
but he's got a cool suit of armor. He's a baby in a cool suit of armor, Fred.
It absolutely is. Now, the thing is, what I didn't do at the start, and I should have done, is to count your prestige points. But we've just saved time because now we don't have to count up so many numbers. Because you did have 2 points, but now you've only got 1 for Pole and you've got 2 for Edward of Westminster.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
Which is good. So we put your red marker on the prestige point track up here. We put red on 3. Now everybody else currently has 2 because the starting position is 2 for all of them. What's that one doing now? It's not even supposed to be there. Let's go. It's better. Right. So, right. I think we've done that. The havoc that has been caused by that. I should also point out there is a card for the town of Coventry, which I don't think anybody has at the moment.
Nope.
When and if it comes out of the crown deck, you give that card to Fred. And take a replacement card because Fred
for now
controls.
I cannot. Okay, but for now I don't
need it
yet.
for now. No.
They haven't mustered yet or whatever.
No.
And how can I get other nobles through the
crown deck? Through the crown deck.
Good time to ask.
So when we look at the sequence of play, you'll see the next phase is Parliament phase. Now that's only if you can call Parliament. You have to have control of the king. Or if there are 2 kings or no king, you have to have the Chancellor of England. Now, somebody has the Chancellor of England, but they can't do anything at the moment because nobody's got the king and there is one. So there's no Parliament phase. Nobody can call Parliament. There's not a clamour for Parliament card come out either. Then there's an optional coronation phase. Nobody's got a royal piece at the crown yet, so we don't do that.
Yeah, because I have a baby. Like that's
you have a baby. He can't become king because his mum and dad are still alive. So
yeah.
He can't. He has got no ambitions in that department. So, end of turn phase, you draw two crown cards, put them into your hand, which is currently empty, and then the final thing you do is to discard a crown card. Now, obviously, this allows you to accumulate crown cards. It's up to you which one you discard. So you can have unlimited crown cards in your hand, and the discard is any crown card from your hand. You can discard.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna, but I have to discard one. I cannot.
You have to discard one.
Yeah. So I'm gonna discard this.
Okay, discarding.
The other one must be good.
Well, the thing is that this one I cannot reuse it, and the other one actually has a purpose. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, and the moment you've done that and discarded your crown card, that signals that it's the next person's turn. So we're now on player 2.
So I can move everyone 1 space.
You need to run an event first, Pierre.
Yeah, run an event first. Please. Have you read the rules, Pierre?
That's my bad. Peasant revolt.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Right.
Peasant revolt. Okay, there's a whole long list of things that happens here. The Bishop of Norwich has to go to Norwich, and we do have a Bishop of. Do we have a Bishop of Norwich? I think we do. I think we do. Do we?
I am the Bishop of Hastings.
Yeah, we go. Yes,
so he's got to go.
That's Bishop of Durham. That's Durham, not Norwich.
No,
I'm the Bishop of Durham. I'm the Bishop of Durham.
Bishop of Norwich.
Okay.
We want.
So Hastings.
Hastings.
Hastings is Bishop of Norwich. Okay, so he has to go. He goes immediately and magically by teleport to Norwich, and it has to be. And he has to be in the city. This is now that is significant because there are cards in that event deck called Plague.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and if you're in a city or a town and you draw the card, somebody will die. So we'll get to that if we get to it. Normally you can avoid plague because at the end of your turn, you can elect to come out of any town or city or any fortified location. You can elect to come out. Largely in order to avoid plague, but if you get sent there, you're stuck until your next turn.
Okay.
Is Cole's Castle of Ashby on the road here or not?
No, it's not on the road. The icon needs to be on the road, not the
Indeed.
So I don't believe anything else happens in this in the event.
Done. Yep.
So I'll move all my guys one. So I could try and just destroy Pole, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Yes, there's a slight rule to stop you doing that. There's a rule which says you can't attack an enemy noble in the first round, precisely because of this reason.
Yeah,
so
makes
you can't,
sense.
but you could have a crack at something else if you can get there.
I have an idea to try and get to Cardigan by moving one region here with him, and then using my free movement.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So use that and get to Cardigan with Talbot.
Yes. Yep.
And it's an open city.
So maybe you need to explain regional movement. You can move anywhere within the region or in one space adjacent to the region you're in, right?
You can move anywhere in the region you're in.
Yeah.
And to anywhere in the adjacent region.
Yeah. So I could go all the way to Carnarvon if I wanted.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic. But I'll stay there with Cardigan. That's great. I'll do the admin in a bit.
You've got other people. You've got Clifford up here, who's always a bit of a pain because
Clifford's kind of useless, isn't he? Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay, that's he is at the moment.
But I think I need to position him so that once I can get some cards, he'll be useful to me. So I'm going to just get him a bit out of the way so he doesn't get attacked. This is my idea. Get him out of the way into Preston so he doesn't get attacked. There's no incentive here. Joe, we're friends. You're not going to attack me, are you?
Of course. I'm not legally allowed to, and I always follow the law.
So true, so true. I'm kind of fine leaving Cornwall here. It's a central position on a road. I don't really want to kick a hornet's nest. So yeah, I'm happy with my movement here. So there's no combat. Oh no, I do have a ship.
Yep.
Bad. He's gonna go 1, 2, 3. This is not a.
You can go diagonally. You can go 1, 2. Yeah, you can go diagonally.
So that, you would be at 2 here. Yeah.
I think I'm happy with Michel being here.
You can go up to 5 movement. I mean, so for example, you could
4,
go
5. I think I will go here for Clifford.
So that actually here that's 4. You could go here for 5.
Yes.
Let's do that.
Yes.
Let's do that.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Happy with that. Let's get my card for who was this? George.
It's a totally different Cromwell. It's not that Cromwell.
I suspected it might be. Yeah, it's probably not an uncommon name actually.
Whole different family. Yeah.
So I got George, Duke of Clarence. I'm going to put him with Talbot, and then I just because we skipped the last 2 phases, so I'm going to get 2 crown cards.
You get 2 points as well because you've got yourself a. So which colour are you? I'll let you do it.
I'm
yellow.
Yellow. Yeah, you do
it
that.
Goes up to 4.
Yeah.
Cool. And Joe, whilst
there is in the end of turn phase, you do have the option of coming out of Cardigan to avoid the plague. Of course, if you come out of Cardigan, you won't have the advantage of the garrison.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I think
I'll
roll the dice for my 2. So just for context, I have a title. If I have an untitled leader, I can play it onto that leader, can't I? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the 2 are titled.
Yes,
but you can put it onto Clifford.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
So I'm going to get rid of Scrope.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a slight nuance I ought to mention when we get to battles. If there's a battle or a siege with an office holder, a yellow card on both sides, that's a major battle or a major siege, and a major battle here gives you two prestige points. Major siege gives you 1. So you're often safe if you haven't got an office. You're not important enough to attack usually.
Right. And remind me
you might.
Sorry, when do I play these cards in my hand now? At what point will I play the card that I have, the crown card I have left in my hand?
Well, you can play crown cards whenever you like, but generally it's worth playing it during your turn rather than at the end.
That makes sense. So I don't waste it. Yeah, makes sense.
No,
Right, that's my turn. So go ahead, Joe.
Okay.
Or
So
I guess you could play them just before combat to strengthen.
Yes.
So
You can play them. You can play them once the initial cards have been declared. You can then play cards from hand to reinforce them from your hand. So you can have the surprise. Oh, look! By surprise, I'm playing a Marshal of England, extra 100 troops. As long as you've got a noble who hasn't got an office. That's the important.
Yep.
Oh, Joe is the Earl of Oxford.
Yeah, I am. That's why I was talking about the treacherous Oxfordians. Can't
so first thing that happens is an event card.
Yep.
There we go.
Another peasant in Earl of Kent and Marshal of England. I don't think we have a Marshal of England. Are you the Earl of Kent?
No, I'm the Treasurer of England. The Marshal is here.
The Marshal's in.
Yeah, Marshal's not in. Anyone's the Earl of Kent? No one's going to admit to that.
Cole isn't. No.
Great. So nothing. No effect there.
Do we not have an Earl of Kent?
Doesn't look like it.
I don't think so.
Nope.
So, is it the case that I''ve got De Vere over here in Headingham and Audley up in Pitch Hill? I can use area movement to get them both to Kenilworth, can't I? Regional movement.
Sorry, whereabouts?
Sorry. To get to Kenilworth from Pitch Hill and Headingham.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's quite it's often quite a long way you can move with regional movement.
Yes, especially in the south of England, it's harder in Wales and it's harder in the north.
Yeah,
sure.
No, I like how that works.
Flip him over and
there
you go.
Yeah, so I'll stack them together and then I'll besiege Kenilworth.
Okay. Yep.
So I've got 210, so just enough there, and I just flipped a card. I don't know.
Just flip a card. Yep.
Great, and then hopefully I don't die. Cromwell, and Stanley. That's only if they're in that battle, isn't it?
In the battle.
That's only if they're in that battle.
Yeah, not just anywhere. That would be a bit mad. Okay, great. So I think that's a success. So I take Margaret of Anjou.
No, keep her here. Just take the card.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Now, royal castles cannot be plagued. So you can stay in a royal castle. Each fortified location has got a capacity as well. You're nowhere near the capacity, so you can just sit in. You can sit in Kenilworth because it's safer. You can't be besieged, and you've got an extra 200 garrison. So, but flip them over and it'll save. Yeah, hopefully.
Excellent. So that's done. Excellent, and I got the 2 more points as well. Lovely. Done.
Draw your 2 crown cards.
Yeah, two cards, and there we go.
Yeah, the most exciting part of the game, really.
I'll be back in a sec.
Okay, I'll just. The lords, the nobles can start in either of their places, can't they?
Yes, they can.
Yeah. Okay, I'll discard this ship.
Okay. Yep. Ship of Berwick. Yeah, it's a bit of a weak card.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're into fourth player.
Yep. All right.
Silver or grey.
Silver. It's a little more regal. All right. So let's flip the event card. Plague in Bristol.
Oh Christ! Is that
nice.
okay? No. I own Bristol, but no one's there, so it's fine.
But no one's there.
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
No one noteworthy.
That means that Bristol will not get plagued.
Yeah.
Like, so
you know that
Bristol is safe. Bristol is safe from plague. It's kind of helpful to know.
Okay. So I've got my 2 armies. They're split. I've only got 100 people. I'm wondering. So the only thing that I can siege are these like seats, these little castles.
Mm-hmm.
But there's kind of no reason to siege them because they don't lead to the gaining of cards.
That is correct.
And then when those nobles pop up, if they're on the roads, it doesn't matter. And if when the nobles pop up, they're going to revert to the control the noble.
You have got 200 troops overall, so theoretically you've got enough to besiege towns and towns and royal castles.
I guess you could open up that road here to get to the north.
He's 300, but there's Harlech's got 200.
No, but I mean to get here, like you could.
I think what I'm going to do is use area movement, the regional movement, to get to Oxford. We're going to start there. Ooh, actually, yes. Let's see. Where were you? You were way down there. So he can't use road movement because he's starting off not on a road. But we'll go here and besiege Oxford.
Nice, yeah.
Great choice.
Yeah, it's lovely.
So the Earl of Oxford doesn't have a seat in Oxford.
No, he doesn't. No, the names like that never work.
Just wanted to be clear.
The Earl of Kent doesn't control Kent. No.
I'm going to flip this.
And don't ask me about Leeds Castle either.
All right, Coventry and Clifford. Neither one of those people are my people.
Okay.
So the siege is successful, and I take control of Oxford.
Yes, you do. That gives you control of that road, which is helpful.
And then I
put a marker on.
That is a good point. I need to think about that a bit more.
And then
actually control it.
So talk to me about the reason to stay in the city exposes myself to plague.
Yes. Coming out of the city at the end of the turn means that you're not exposed to plague and you've got more chance of survival. Even at this stage of the game, even if you were attacked, you've got a reasonable sized army. The way battles work is victory comes in terms of odds. The odds are majority 5-4, 3-2, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1. And there's also that's six different odds you'd have to have, and the cards are split evenly. The event deck split evenly between those six. But there's also bad weather, delayed attack. Bad weather means that basically nobody fights. So at the current state of play, with over 200 troops there, it's unlikely that anybody's going to attack you in the open. So you're safer. You're safer there than you are in Oxford.
And unlike other war games, you don't get a free withdrawal to the castle. If someone comes,
I'm afraid not. No,
if someone comes and you're on the road, you're on the road, and you should have withdrawn when you had the chance.
Yes, exactly.
But I will stay on the. I will stay on the road.
Stay outside Oxford.
Yeah, stay outside Oxford. Okay, and then I draw 2 crown cards. And
I can see how this plays quite quickly, actually.
Yeah,
like it is pretty snappy, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can also see that getting royal pieces is really, really good. It colours the game who gets what royal pieces and which royal pieces maybe die from plague or whatever. But there are other exciting things that can happen in the event day.
I'm going to discard this.
Okay, the Howards. We could have started in Inferno.
Then
so now we're back to Fred.
Yep. Yeah. I'm going to draw an event card, and we have a revolt in Wales. So Chamberlain of the County of Palatine of Chester but I don't think anyone has it, right?
Fred, I'd like to lodge a complaint about outrageous pronunciation of the word Chamberlain.
Chamberlain. It is a French name, so.
Can you pronounce the last word?
I agree with you, Joe. It is being mispronounced in an awful way by the British. That's
well, I think that by the Wars of the Roses, most of the nobles, although they do speak French, I think a lot of them are kind of more English than French now.
Yeah, that's
good.
Alan, that's called decadence. They started great, and then they, that's the way it is. Okay, so nothing happens here. I can move stuff, but actually, I'm not really interested in.
No, Fred,
moving.
Come out and fight me like a man. Come and fight.
No.
Meet me in Warwick and fight.
The longer you stay in Coventry, the more chance there is of a plague in Coventry.
Yeah, and it's a very singly place.
It is exactly the same thing for anywhere else I could be.
Well, a royal castle, it doesn't get plagued. A royal castle does not get plagued.
Okay, so
neither do the home castles. So if you have a friendly royal castle somewhere, I'm not sure if you do. Do you have?
I don't think I do.
Where are we?
Oh, actually, I
Wallingford. You could go to Wallingford.
Couldn't go. Yeah, go here in.
Fomaris. Yep.
You stay
Fomaris over there.
Fomaris is quite a long way.
Yeah, you can try.
You can get to over.
I can get there with the regional.
You need a ship.
You need a ship there. There's
a little bit of water.
Oh, there is a strait.
There's no bridge. There's no bridge.
But here I can go with area movement.
Yeah.
I know Dave Rayner's on here, and he would suggest that maybe having a bridge there would have been a good plan, or having a ferry.
They made one eventually, didn't they?
But we haven't got one.
Then I'll go here and hide.
Will you take
your
child?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'll take the child with me. Yeah. Not that I'm happy to have him with me, but I mean,
yeah. The rule is once you've taken a royal piece, you have to have a noble with the royal piece at all times.
Yeah,
or kill them.
They're so
Or
clingy.
kill them. Yeah, you could kill them.
Killing them is always an option, Fred.
Indeed.
I'll definitely keep this in mind. I can tell
Baby,
you. Like,
baby killing, baby killing. I know.
Yeah, that's completely my
classic Fred, though, isn't it?
So no combat phase because I'm in a place that I control. Parliament phase, no parliament phase, and then I won't be able to do a coronation phase either. So I guess I just get 2 cards and hope for the best. What do I get? Oh, I like you. Okay, so I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that, and this is it for me.
Right. So I'm gonna move Talbot up to Harlech. That's 200, isn't it? That garrison. Yeah, it is. Royal Castle.
Yep.
And Cromwell over to Harlech as well to try and take. Oh, where's Talbot gone? Someone touch Talbot? I can't see his counter gun.
Oh, where's he? Oh dear.
Oh, he's down in Cardiff. I don't know why he went to Cardiff.
Oh, okay.
So they've both gone to Harlech, and that's fine. What is Clifford going to do? So Clifford needs to move into Preston, right? To go into the ship, or can he just move straight to
the ship? The ship would have to dock at Preston.
Okay.
And then next turn, doesn't go on the ship. Next turn, he can go on the ship and go.
That makes sense.
Sea movement is simply a ship in an area with a noble, and then the noble just as part of the turn gets on the ship and you move the ship with the noble on it.
Sure. Okay, that's fine. Combat. Let's go. Ooh. Clamour for Parliament. Do I keep going?
That comes out onto the Clamour of Parliament space, which is down here.
Okay.
Because that means that if somebody's eligible, now you could.
I see.
You could actually call Parliament, but nobody's eligible because nobody's got Henry yet. So.
But I keep drawing, right? Until
you keep drawing, yep.
Until death happens.
Oh, and there we go. Oh, right. Now that's an embassy card. You ignore the purple bit.
Yeah.
It's a rather nice bit, but you have to ignore it. So Boucher or Herbert would have died, but otherwise they're not there. So
fine. Great.
Taken Harlech.
Cromwell can take.
So you can put your marker on Harlech.
Oh wait, I should have put marker on Cromwell as well. On Cardigan even, sorry.
Yeah. No. Oh, sorry. You don't put a mark on Cardigan.
Yeah, it's
Cardigan's an open town. Anybody will. They'll protect anybody in Cardigan. Yeah. Hence the surrender flag. They just surrender to you.
Yeah. Dweebs. Okay, cool. And I'm going to leave Shrewsbury out, but no, I'm going to get them both.
You could all sit in Harlech because
it's a royal
there's no plague in Royal Town.
Yeah.
Royalty doesn't have royal castles. Apparently immune to plague.
Doesn't work like that. Yeah. Good. I am drawing a card and going to get rid of a card. Happy days. That's nice. Good stuff.
Excellent. Event. On the revolt. Holland, Chancellor of Duchy Cornwall, which might be my guy, and Marshal of England.
That's no one. Yeah.
No, I'm the Duchy of Lancaster. So okay.
No, I'm Dover Castle. So
there's no Marshal of England yet.
No,
do we have a Chancellor yet?
We
do.
No,
there's no. It has to be the King, but because there's a King, there can't be a Chancellor.
Cole is the Chancellor of England at the moment, but
yeah. So if there was no King, what would call Parliament? Okay, great. Good. Okay. I have one question. So we can't officially ally.
No, he's not the Chancellor of England. Yeah,
the Chancellor of England is actually Somerset, which is.
That is cool.
He's over here. So he's moving to. Whoops, that's not the right place. He is moving to Plymouth.
No, we don't have a. That's a Chancellor of the Duchy of Cornwall.
That's Chancellor of Cornwall. We don't have. He died. Yeah. He died. Sorry.
Yeah.
So he stays where he was. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all good. I'll move then. So there's no one else doing it. I think so. I could come and attack Clifford up here, but there would be little point really. It would just kind of annoy. Well, except for get.
Well, it would make me sad.
It would make you sad, and I wouldn't want to do that. The rest of you guys are in that castle, and I don't have enough to besiege it yet. So that's fine. I'm going to play this Duke of Buckingham mode just to get him out. Nice and close by, and that also. Oh, that doesn't actually protect that road. That's fine. I'll do that, and then I'm gonna move to. That's fine. So yeah, we can only fight together on one side once we're officially allied. Is that right? I was wondering if I could form kind of an alliance.
No, it has to be a
proper
alliance. No, not yet.
All good. I'll move.
And we can do proper alliance at the end of a parliament phase, or.
Well, you can do an alliance at any time once one of the heads of house have been claimed, which hasn't happened yet. So.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm moving everyone here to besiege Northampton.
Okay.
So we'll do that, and I've got the numbers. Yeah. So town is 200. Cool. Pole. Oh no, I don't have Pole, do I? No, good. Pole and Fitzalan. So okay. Cool. So Northampton, and I'm really just doing that to put a marker down. And then that's the end of my turn.
Controlling roads is
good. Yeah, it's a good position for roads, and we won't go inside. That's foolishness.
Okay, that's
the biggest army in town. Okay.
So take 2 cards.
Yeah. Okay. Gibson, Boucher.
So there's been the Northampton and Oxford plague has gone. So Oxford is safe from plague now.
I tried to. Oh, there it is. I dropped it. There it is. Boucher is gone, and that's the end of my turn. That one I will concede is a French. No.
He was Archbishop of Canterbury, if I remember rightly. Okay. Historically, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. I'm done. Over to you, Cole.
Oh, Cole, you're muted.
I'm muted. You guys can hear all my schemes. Okay.
Yeah.
Fairly straightforward turn for me. So I'm just trying to build things that might be important later. So let's go grab Windsor.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, just in case anyone near London needs a place later.
Place to stay.
I'm running a B&B here. All right, so we're gonna take. Oh, sorry, I have to roll I do my event first. Let's do that first.
Yeah.
French raid, Holland.
Yay! Woo!
Dartington.
So
nothing happens.
Okay, excellent. And then I am sieging Windsor here.
Okay.
Flip this.
Let's go from Holland.
Boy, Holland's not having it.
He's having a day.
He's having a bad day. Okay, and then so I take that. I'll put my control marker on it. That's lovely. Might be important later, and then we will just bed down here.
Can't help but notice a sort of alliance in the south coming together.
Well, we'll see. No,
it's more about containing Fred. I would say.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. And this is an unfortunately difficult choice.
I really enjoy
discard this.
I really enjoy you get this event at the start of your turn, and then this nice choice of 2 cards at the end of your turn. It's a nice little buzz every time.
Yeah, it is very nice.
Okay, so
back to you, Fred.
Back to me. A peasant revolt. So Courtenay to Okehampton and the Duke of Exeter to Exeter.
Oh,
and I think that none of them are here, right?
Nope.
Don't think so.
Nope.
Good. Then I can play cards at any time during my turn, right?
Yes, that's right.
So I'm gonna summon the
Holland, titular Holland.
Holland, and I'm gonna give him the town of Leicester.
He's the most powerful man in England right now because he can't be killed. All of his bad events have been spent.
Yeah, he's literally
He knows
that's pretty insane. So Leicester, which is cool because.
Now, do you know where Leicester is? This is a real test. That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
here it is.
He was looking for Leicester. He was looking for Leicester.
And this guy Holland, I need to choose one of those 2 places, right?
Thought Waterville here, or Dartington down there.
And Dartington already had a raid, right?
Sure.
So
definitely keeping track of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna go. Which one is the other one?
Thought Waterville.
The very British sounding.
Yeah, they can't get plague. They can't get plagues. So you're okay. Either
Very
of those.
clean people.
Oh yeah,
You can't be very
I'm
French either.
definitely gonna go here. I think it's a bit more crucial to be here than. I mean,
it's a bit far away.
Darthington seems like a very nice place, but I'm not sure that much is happening there. So
I think that's fair comment. That's fair comment. I have been to Darthington. Yeah.
I hope no one from Darthington is watching us right now, and if they do, I really don't mean anything bad about it. It's just that, yeah. So I'm here. I can do moves now, and I think I'm gonna flip this like that. Yeah, I don't have that much. I have 130. I feel like I'm a bit weak to do anything really. I don't think I can do much. Yeah, I need friends. So is it fair for me to do nothing in terms of movement this time around? Yeah. So I'm gonna do nothing. We don't have Parliament or Coronation, so I guess I get 2 cards, and that's pretty much it, right?
Yep.
Fantastic.
Cool. Okay. I'm gonna pick a card.
Yeah, and then
Woo! Oh my god.
Things happening.
Oh wow. This is
Sophie's choice.
This is a lot. I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Just having a breakdown.
Yeah.
You mind it?
Well,
You mind it to go?
Well, it's a bit tricky. I don't know what to do here.
I would keep the one on the left. Myself.
You would keep the one on the left because the one on the right looks really fun, but kind of useless, but really fun.
It's fun, but it's.
Oh, what are the out of white? Oh, 0. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, but it does give you a thing that
it gives you a prestige point, but it doesn't give you any troops.
Yeah,
so
that's the problem.
Later in the game, it's quite good. Later,
and you become a target for a large battle, and I don't have the noble for it. So
yeah. So De Vere, I don't think anyone has. To Hedingham and the Earl of Essex to Colchester. I don't think anyone has.
No one has De Vere?
No. I'm De Vere.
Oh,
yeah,
no, you
Joe. I thought that Joe had De Vere.
No, you're De Vere, and you are also the Earl of Essex. So I'm very sorry, Joe.
It's going to mess up.
Peasant rebels for Joe.
You can choose which one you go to if you're both.
No, I'm not both.
No, you're not. Of course, you're not both.
So it's going to mess everything up. Yeah, De Vere to Hedingham. Do I? Yeah, there's a moment here where you can hand off royals, isn't there? If you want to.
Yes, you can hand off royals if you've got another guy there. You don't.
I don't think I will. I don't think I will in this case because I'm the biggest guy in town. 5B. I should know a culture choice, but I don't.
Colchester
as a bully. Everyone else.
Oh, it's my home, obviously. Yeah. That's fine. And
you literally don't know where you're coming from, Joe, which is a bit.
Colchester. Oh no, that's the wrong guy. That's Earl of Essex. De Vere to Hedingham.
Earl of Essex goes to Colchester. The other guy goes to Hedingham. Yeah.
Oh, Hedingham's close by. That's fine.
They have the letter, the number.
Yeah, I was looking. I'm just not very quick at reading grade references, apparently. Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
All right, that's not fantastic. So I'm gonna move.
And they have to be inside. I'll just flip him because he has to be.
Oh yeah, they have to be inside. Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna move my two fellas into South Wingfield and get them into the castle over here. I'm quite happy there. Thank you very much.
So actually, one of them could be coronated. Maybe can we explain how you get a coronation on a faction and explain how it works with the bishop and the cathedral?
Yes. Okay. You can only crown the top heir of the house, top royal piece. So at the moment, Henry's king. You can't do him. So it's Richard of York. Richard of York would be the one you could crown.
Yeah. So I need to get Richard first.
Yeah.
And I have nowhere near the number for that.
To crown somebody, you need to have them in a cathedral city or town, or so one of these with a thingy on it. There's St David's over here, which is an open one, and there's a couple of open towns here which have got like Bath and Wells, or Salisbury and Wells rather. They've got cathedrals, and you have to have an archbishop or 2 bishops.
Okay.
Your pieces, your nobles can only have 1 bishop or archbishop each. So that will often be 2 bishops you can have. So.
Yeah.
And I mean, they could be a cross an alliance if necessary.
Hey, I just noticed that Newbury is here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Cool. Very nice.
That's where I'm living. Great. So I'm going to leave it there. Clifford's not going to move. So step, and then draw 2 cards. And get rid of 1. Oh, Ooh.
Lots of lovely oohs.
Yeah, this is your Frenchness coming onto the top. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, let's get rid of the town Northampton.
Yeah, sure. Oh wait, wait,
I get it.
wait.
I get it.
Somebody took Northampton, didn't they?
That's right.
Yeah, I conquered it.
Did.
So give that card to that person, and then
if Pierre has taken
card.
Oh,
so
I take it immediately.
Do I take an extra card then?
Yes, you do.
Oh, amazing.
And then you have to discard something else.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, and we didn't pick Coventry by any.
And also, I'm sorry. I forgot to do. I forgot to do an important thing. You know when, what's his name died? The one who you've now forgotten the name of died. You should have got two. You should have got cards in compensation. There's a thing called Rally to the Cause.
Oh.
You get one card for every 2 crown cards you lost. I think you lost 4.
3, 4. Let's say 3.
Okay, so I would draw
5. You just draw 2 crown cards.
Yeah.
2.
Oh, I just drew 4.
Yeah.
Was that in the original Kingmaker? Was that?
No. We introduced it as a thing, so you don't lose too much.
Yeah, it seems like more of a modern kind of game mechanic in that sense. Yeah, it's interesting.
Joe, you can go ahead whilst Fred's
great.
faffing about with whatever he's doing.
Yeah,
mercenary go home. The Flemish mercenaries are going home.
Do I have Flemish mercenaries? No, I don't. Burgundian. I think Cole might have me.
Nope.
No. Okay, you've just got Scots.
No.
Oh, good. Fred.
Let's hope. Fred has some. Yes. Yes.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Love it.
Very, very important.
Bordel, merde. Oh.
So, Fred, I'm going to help you here and just take the number down.
I have 2 moderately important questions to ask.
Actually, I am at 90. I was.
You just can't go on. If I gain control of a city, does that card immediately come out somewhere, or do I need to wait for it to come out?
No. You immediately get the card. The cards are here.
Oh yeah, there we are. That's what I'm
are
looking for.
here.
Perfect. Okay.
And you just take the one you get. If it's owned by somebody else, you take that card off them, and they lose a prestige point, and you gain a prestige.
Interesting.
Great.
Okay.
The cities, all 4 cities have prestige points. So do the officers. So do archbishops have a prestige point as well.
Okay. I think so. In this case, I wouldn't. So I've got the Archbishop of York. So I'm gonna play that to gain York. But I wouldn't gain that if someone else already controlled it. So it specifies it if neutral.
That's correct. Yes.
But I'm still gonna take that now, so it gets me a prestige point. I'm going to give that to the Duke of
I have just noticed. I have noticed an error in the prestige. You only, which I didn't mention, I should have done. You only get points for your best royal piece.
Okay.
So sorry, yellow, but you only have 4 points.
That's fair.
You can't just collect the cousins.
Yeah.
Like Pokemon Cole.
I won on cousin majority.
Yeah, exactly. So the next question, anyone, but for instance, Fred can let me through one of his castles he controls or towns or whatever.
Yes, I can give you the. I can let you pass.
Fred, will you let me pass Leicester? Otherwise, I'll conquer
it. Fred, don't let him do this. He's trying to get to Richard.
You don't have the means to. You cannot conquer it.
I can.
No, you cannot.
Trust me.
You cannot.
Okay, he's telling you you must not. Yeah.
No. Wait a minute. I'm just saying.
No. You've spoken. We're moving.
Okay. Someone is gonna die.
Gotta love this designer-developer relationship.
I do. I mean, I have got all of my guys stacked up. I just want. So I mentioned this in the chat. I want to mention it here, Fred. If you zoom in on my forces here, I have a very pleasing kind of yellow and red color scheme going.
You do, yeah.
We're very color coordinated. I just want that to be known.
It's squad goals. Yeah, that's really nice. Do you want to use a stacking zone thing?
No. We're gonna besiege Leicester then. I don't believe in stacking zones. Let's hope this is a bit risky because they're all together, but. Gray and Neville, that's fine. Neither of them are here. So Leicester is conquered, and then I gain the Leicester town card from Yoker as well, Fred.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Actually, I had another question for the historians. Are the numbers of troops there kind of scaled somewhat, or is it really the case that in this war there are only 10 guys from Leicester being provided to the army.
There is some kind of very hazy relationship between the numbers and the actual troop numbers, but I would hesitate to kind of try to work that out.
Yeah, that's fine. But it's more like a size and quality of forces kind of thing going.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
All right.
That's it. Yeah.
It's not in this particular case. It's not a simulation of that at all. It's It's a different thing.
Ooh, wow. That's what Plantagenet's for.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yes.
Exactly right.
All right. Have you chosen your card?
Yes, I have. I'm going to put the Archbishop Canterbury back there.
People are putting really good cards back.
What do you have in your hand?
Wow. It's all bluff. It's all bluff.
Oh my god.
All right. We have storms at sea. So ships need to take refuge. I don't think we have any ships out.
We're good. Yeah. No, my only ships in port.
And then I mean, I wonder if I should just go keep collecting these little
the road blocks.
Yeah, well, you know what I should do? I should go collect Canterbury.
Sure.
That would be a good one to add. So we're gonna siege this. Come on, there you are. And let's see how it goes. All right, Stafford. I don't know.
It's fine. You're fine. Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Cole,
Yes,
just in case you didn't realise,
yes.
Hastings does have a slot for an office if you wanted to boost his.
Ooh,
numbers.
yeah. I don't. Oh, you're right. You're right. So you know what? I mistook these two. Yes.
Doesn't actually help. Doesn't help.
It doesn't help right away, but that's good to know because I was. Yeah, I mean, and I might have considered that, but I have. It's going to be fine. This is a good. I'm making long-term investments here.
Yeah.
And I like to keep an air of mystery about my exact process because when the battles happen, there's a phase where I can dump some beautiful cards out.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We are going to stay on the road. I don't want to get court plague here, and then I will draw a couple cards in my turn.
Go ahead for it.
Aha!
This
is what I wanted. First. Excellent. And then when can I no longer play cards? So like at the time I draw, I cannot play any additional cards.
Once you do, well, technically you can play them any time, really, but it doesn't just have to be on your turn. But I wouldn't play them on your turn. I'd wait until.
If I want to put a new lord on the board.
Yes, you can do that. You can do that. We can do it at any time, but it's going to be more powerful if it's at the start of your turn. So if you've just drawn one you want to play, you want to wait until your next turn. Then you can play him and move him. But
excellent.
If you play him now, everybody will know what you've got.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to. Boy, we could really have a go at it, but I'm going to discard this card.
Okay. I'm going to draw an event.
I'm drawing gift faction with the Chancellor of England.
Chancellor may summon Parliament.
Okay.
That is
that's me right now.
Yeah, that's Cole. Yeah.
When drawn, give to faction with the Chancellor. There we go. Yeah. So that means that if there are two kings or no kings, the Chancellor will use that card to call Parliament.
And do I have to do this, or can I hold it for?
You hold it. You hold it.
Excellent.
At the moment, you can't use it because there's a king. So there's
one.
Okay,
sure.
So there has to be no king, and you need to have that card. I see.
So now Cole wants to get rid of Henry VI. Now, basically,
it's no king or two kings. No king or two kings.
Right.
The Chancellor can summon Parliament.
Yeah, interesting.
Okay.
Go ahead, Fred.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to summon the Earl of Devonshire, and I'm going to give him the town of Ipswich.
Close.
Almost there. Yeah.
Ipswich. In French, it would be Ipswich. And it sounds.
It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be in French, would it?
No, it wouldn't. Like when we read this, we think automatically it sounds German. So
yes,
definitely,
yeah.
Like dangerous. It's fish. So I still need So I'm gonna go here with that dude. And where can I find those are my control points.
Over here,
in your bag, yeah.
You're lucky. You're lucky that he's got this ugly blue bar, Fred, or else I'd have to claim him for my own color scheme. So.
Oh no, where is this?
He's here. I think. No?
What
yeah,
did I...
no, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
What's that?
That's not the right
Oh,
one.
it's misnamed. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Is it
it's this one here. It's this one here, but it's
No,
misnamed in TTS.
no. He's Courtenay, Earl of Devonshire.
Oh, it's Courtenay. Yep.
Yeah, we're fine.
I'm just looking for a control marker.
In your bag.
In the back.
Yeah.
In the... Wait a minute. What did I do with the other one? I'm not sure. That's
You
fine.
can say.
Oh, that's a port, actually. That's really nice. I like this.
Yeah.
I just have no boats, so yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. Do I want to move with this guy?
Classic place to put Courtney is over here on the road, so that he can move faster.
Yeah.
Later on.
So
depending on whether you think he's safe or not. I mean, he's fairly safe. He hasn't got anything with him, has he? Much.
The thing is that he's not strong enough to. So I would just place him in the open in one of those two spaces, right?
Yep.
But he wouldn't be safe from an attack, right? Like he could be attacked by.
And he's a major guy.
He's not a major. He doesn't count as a major guy. He hasn't got an office.
It doesn't have
an
an
office. I see. Yeah, an office. Okay, that's fine then.
If somebody beat him in battle, they could kill him and take Ipswich.
Well, that's a big prize.
Which is not really important.
Hardly worth the risk.
Yeah. So
that's the advantage you have for being so weak, Fred.
I'm gonna stay in the open here. I'm gonna go into So I'm close to Newbury. That's really what I'm.
You stay away.
Yeah. I'm just here. That's fine. I don't think I want to move anyone else. Everyone is where they should be. I would say. Or actually, he could go into Ipswich. But he's safer here, right?
Yeah. It doesn't make much difference. He is from Plague.
Yeah, he's from Plague. And this is what I'm most worried about. So I guess that's pretty much it. So no combat, no parliament phase, no coronation. And so I'm going to get 2 cards from here.
Okay.
Yep.
So you 2 cards. Pick your card. I think I might have a big turn coming up. I've got York in my sights.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm dropping this, but I shouldn't. Coventry is mine.
Right. Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's the one. So I should draw another one, right?
Yes, you should.
Yeah.
Okay.
You still need to get rid of one. Yeah.
I'm
only laughing because he's got.
I'm gonna drop this.
Yeah.
So I guess anytime you rid of that. Jesus.
Yeah.
Anytime you draw a town, you need to really do a quick scan of the board, don't you? Or at least.
Okay. Stafford to Leeds. Does anyone have Stafford?
Stafford is definitely on the board.
Duke
of Buckingham.
Duke of Buckingham.
I know he's Stafford, Duke of Buckingham, right in the middle.
Go to Leeds. And the Marshal of England to Blackheath. No one has the Marshal
Leeds.
of England.
That's you see Leeds. You automatically went to where Leeds, the town, is, which doesn't exist at the moment. It's down here, Leeds Castle. Everybody knows Leeds Castle's in Kent. Obviously.
That's his castle. Yeah.
You should know this.
Ridiculous. That's fine.
Okay, so now before my movement phase, I'm going to play 2 disgusting cards. One is the Earl of Northumberland. One is the Duke of Norfolk as well.
Oh my goodness!
Goodness! Oh my gosh!
And I might give Northumberland the bishopric.
Oh no! Gosh.
Okay, we're getting serious now.
Yeah. So
I just realized how bad my cards are.
So we all agree that it's all against Pierre, right?
Yeah.
That's not nice, guys. That's not
fine.
Nice.
Fred, I've got a big turn coming up as well, so we can form a Lancastrian alliance. That's all.
Yeah.
Good.
So I just need to get Norfolk as well. It's funny how all of these guys before my movement phase are appearing around York. Isn't that nice?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Norfolk can go almost anywhere, but
yeah.
Near York.
He's got loads of castles. But near York is where you
right. So I'm going to move in my movement phase. Move Percy to York. I'm going to move.
He can't do that in one turn.
Yeah.
Can he not? Is it not adjacent?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I
yeah.
apologize. Yes, he can. Excuse me.
He can.
Sorry.
Then on road movement with this big
I haven't
he's
got
going
that
to go
road
to
blocked.
York.
That's fine.
And Edward is going to march because that's
Yeah.
So give me a second. Just looking at how many men I have there.
Oh my God, the rich
bring
people
another-
problem. Oh,
yeah.
let me take a minute. I have so many cards and so much
Sorry,
power.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I need
my
to.
bad. Yeah.
Do you want to open up your calculator or something like this? Just.
Well, I just have so many numbers. I'm just trying to tick up here. It's taken a while.
Yeah, you can. I know you're doing this to show off, but you can manually put the number in.
I know. Okay, good. Right, so I'm gonna try and take it.
What about this guy, Mowbray?
Well, Mowbray doesn't need to be there, so I don't want to risk him.
Mowbray doesn't need to be there.
Doesn't need to be there. I got 300 guys.
Oh, fair enough.
So I'm going to try and take York.
Come on, York.
You want that?
I believe I'm fine.
Beaufort
and Neville.
Yeah.
I think you're okay.
Fantastic. Isn't that nice, everyone?
Cannot believe this.
So I take York.
Yeah. I'll give it to you. So that gives you another prestige, and I lose one.
Yeah. I'll give that to.
You don't get the Archbishop, but he's hanging out with me. There you go.
No, but I do have a bishop. I am Bishop of Carlisle.
Okay. There you go.
Wait, where's
York?
York? Thank you.
So I go down one, and you go up one. Yeah, and you also get Richard.
I have Richard also.
Did somebody have York?
I
yes.
did.
Joe had. Yeah.
Joe had him.
Oh right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had York from the Archbishop, but he wasn't able to defend it.
Oh right. Okay.
Yeah. I was on my way north to save Richard from his mortal coil.
So can I now crown a king?
Yes.
Do you need an archbishop?
Oh, no, you need an archbishop or two bishops.
Or
you've
two
only
bishops.
got.
I think you only have one.
You've only got one bishop.
Yeah, you're
two bishops make an archbishop.
Well known.
Two bishops love each other very much. Yeah.
now somebody controls the head of a house. Alliances are permitted.
Okay,
excellent.
fantastic.
Good timing,
guys. I'm open for alliances if you want. But I'm going to draw 2 cards at the end of my turn. Oh, these are dog. Okay, right. Okay, let's put this away.
Nobody has any sympathy, I think.
Okay, here's a historical question. Why do all the ships have Le Nicolas at the front?
Why, Joe? Why do you think they all have French names? Why do you think that? We've been through this already multiple times, Joe. You don't have a culture. Like, basically, England is a province of France.
Okay.
Do we have to go over this over and
I'm going to draw my... Yeah, I'm going to draw my event card, okay?
That's fine. You go for it.
Okay.
Esmeralda. Marshal of England to Blackheath, Mowbray to
Framlingham. We have Mowbray.
I do.
Yeah.
Duke of Norfolk. Duke of Norfolk.
No,
goes back down to East Anglia.
East Anglia. Oh,
Framlingham.
60.
Where's it? Where's Framlingham?
Yeah, it's up in. That's right. It's up in Norfolk.
Yeah. Sorry, I was looking away. Yeah. Okay, I'm fine there.
Actually, that's not too bad. Yeah, it's a pretty cool free move.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna appoint the Duke of Buckingham the Chamberlain of the County Palatine of Chester, which is pretty nice if you're in Wales. But it's good enough for now anyway. I'm going to show off the technology here by typing 90 directly into this. Okay.
Did you take your prestige point?
No, not yet. Thanks, Fred. So I'm on 90. So that's good. That gives me enough to amass here, so we can all move to London.
Cole, your plan of taking Henry VI, I assume that was your plan, is probably falling apart right now. Happy to be allies.
I have enough.
We'll see. We'll see about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the siege of London, and fingers crossed. Herbert and Percy, I think that's fine. I don't recognise those names, so we're all good. So I conquered London, which presumably is worth lots of points.
Percy was the biggest landowner in England for a bit.
Yeah. So that's gonna get me 2 more points. Biggest landowner in England. There we go. Looking good. And I got London, and we're not going to go in London because I know it's a hive of scum.
Joe, I just want to say, if we ally each other, we've almost won.
Yeah, but we can't do it anyway. But I'll consider that. Fred, I'll take that under.
Yeah, we can.
So I need to keep Henry there. What?
I think we can.
No, we can't do prestige victories yet. That's all. So can I now? I could now call a parliament, couldn't I?
You could call Parliament. Yes, you have to allocate these cards to people. All the cards have to be allocated to an individual noble.
Yes. Can I give up my own offices, or is there not?
No. Offices and titles are fixed. Offices can be changed in Parliament. Titles are fixed and can't be changed unless you die.
So offices can be. So if I called a Parliament now, I could change my offices to give myself better offices.
You could, yes.
Yes. Cool. That's so, and then the other ones would end up here. So I should call Parliament now.
No, the other. The rule is you have to allocate all the offices that you take, and you can swap offices around. So you can't just discard offices. If you'd like to call Parliament, let's do a whole Parliament thing.
Yeah, I mean, let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, I'll call Parliament.
No.
Yep.
You have to call it where the king is. So I presume you're calling a Parliament in London.
Yes, that's right.
Because that's where you are. Right. Several things happen. There is the King's Peace. We have this King's Peace marker. The dove of peace descends upon this particular area. So you can't fight in this area until the end of the blue player's next turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, to call Parliament, you have to have the king. You have to have the Clamour for Parliament card, which we've got. And you have to nominate somebody who is not in your faction and not an ally, who you will force to come to Parliament. You're summoning that noble to Parliament. It can be any noble that's not in your faction and not in your alliance.
Okay.
They have to come.
They have to come. Yeah.
And then anybody else who wants to come can come as well if they want to. Now the reason for this is that you draw a number of these cards equal to the number of nobles who come, but there's only 4 cards in here, so you're going to get them all anyway. But
yeah. And if there's too many, I see. So if there are if there are not enough, if there are too many people, there aren't enough people because there are enough people to take the titles. So yeah, that's fine. But I can hand off titles. Is that right?
You would hand off titles. Hand off titles and offices that you can't allocate to your own people. But so you could take a title off. You could take an office off one of your guys and give it to somebody else and take a better office. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Perfect. I'll just summon. I'll summon Holland over here. Actually, that's not true. Sorry. I'll summon the Earl of Shrewsbury.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah.
And I have to bring my my guy with him, don't I?
Yeah. You could hand him off at this point.
You could hand him off if you want.
I will hand him off. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine.
Now, anybody else can go. So starting clockwise from the person who's got Parliament, you can decide whether you want to come.
It's going to be Cole first to decide.
Yeah. And bear in mind, King's Peace is there, so you can't be hit.
Sure. Hastings will come.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you don't have to go to Parliament to get awards. You can be awarded things without being at Parliament. So
okay. So it's just if you want to move there. Yeah.
Oh, and that was exactly the question that Joe was asking. So you don't have to be. But does a faction has to be there to get something?
Nope.
So
I just awarded things without being there. Yeah.
So it really is just if you would rather be in London.
The only restriction you can't award things to people who are at sea or under siege.
Okay.
I think from memory.
Yeah.
Well, because if they're at sea, how do the troops get there?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, where's the Earl of Devonshire? Boop, boop, boop. Where did I put him? Oh, he's here. I think I'm going to come with him. Yeah. He's going to come here.
Yeah. Okay. That's everyone at Parliament then?
Yeah, I can choose, but I'm not going to do anymore. I'm fine.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. And then I'll take these out just wait and see what there is. That one I would have to give somebody without a title, wouldn't I? So
yes.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Fred, for future friendship then I'll appoint I can appoint Holland the Earl of Kent.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
You seeing this, Cole?
Yeah.
No, it's like I'm going to give you.
I am seeing it. I want to ask a question about the alliances. So alliances can be formed anytime.
Yes. You can only break an alliance at the end of your own turn.
Okay.
But you can form an alliance at any time. Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to appoint myself the Marshal of England and give up the Steward of the Royal Household.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a really interesting move. Wow.
Yeah.
No,
Unexpected. Yeah.
Note that Captain of Calais gives you control of Calais.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So that would be interesting. Okay.
You should give that to Cole.
I want to be
could
the
give that to
Captain of
Cole.
Calais. Captain of Calais sounds awesome.
Fred, do you want to form an alliance?
Yeah, sure.
You propose. You did some. I don't trust your maths, but for the sake of keeping things moving, I'm going to trust you. And you can be Captain of Calais, Fred.
Yeah.
But who? I'm gonna. It's this guy though. It's Holland. He's the Captain of Calais because it's quite close to Holland.
Holland is the.
It's basically Calais, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's close.
The slight difficulty there is that Fred has no ships.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's a purely honorary title. You understand?
Yes, exactly. It's like Calais is not a real place anyway, so that's.
We'll work on that later. Cole, would you like the Duke Chancellor of Cornwall or the Steward of the Royal Household?
I would like the. I mean, I'll just take the one that's slightly better.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, it may come with more responsibilities, so you may find yourself answering peasant revolts more often or something.
The little number in the top left corner of the cards is how many calls there are in the event deck.
Interesting.
That's quite nice.
That's actually quite nice. Yeah. Fred, you can be Steward of the Royal Household as well. There you go. The Earl of Devonshire.
Shrewsbury's just in the corner of this room, just really sad. He feels like he's been picked last for the sports team.
Right. Didn't give you anything, did they? Yeah. And me and Fred are forming an alliance, right, Fred?
Yep.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. All good.
And you're gonna give me 2 prestige points, please.
Where should you think? 5. So we do have enough prestige now to win a prestige victory.
Is it combined?
Not quite. We need 15.
You combine them, but you only take the alliance's best royalties.
Okay. Okay.
And it has to be a king. It has to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So we don't have my 2 prestige. Yeah.
Okay. So you were lying to me, is basically.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware that I was lying, but yeah.
Okay. That's fine. I'm done.
So if you're forming, forming an alliance. Oh, good. You put the bits down there. Excellent. So what we'll do is we'll get one of these alliance markers.
For group prestige. Yeah.
For the group prestige.
It should be this one, right?
You're kind of
Lancastrian. Yep. We're 11.
Oh, you are Lancastrian. You're Lancastrian.
Yeah, we are Lancastrian.
Yeah, you are Lancastrian, of course.
My family's from Lancashire, so I have a completely unreasonable loyalty towards them, despite none of these nobles having anything to do with Lancashire, to my knowledge. Okay. There's not even any seats in Lancashire.
It's a barren wasteland. Yeah. Go ahead. Oh, draw your 2 cards.
Should we discard the clamor for parliament and we've had the
once turn it sideways, and then once the king's piece is gone, you take it off.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Go ahead,
all right.
Yep.
So blue should have 9. I think blue has got 9.
Warden of the Cinque-Port. No one.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, for separate points.
No one is Warden of the Cinque-Ports.
That's right. Yeah, and you've got.
No. I think Fred's got 5, but only contributing 3 towards her.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. What do you think? Because these guys.
So you see how that works.
Yeah.
We can't have a fight here for now. I got a lot of troops up north that I can sort of lend aid to. The only way down is through Shrewsbury, so I'll need to take that. So that's an option open for you.
Right. Just thinking about. Let's see. All right. I feel like I need a noble. I'm so so beggarly here.
One thing I haven't mentioned is that you are allowed to trade cards between you from hand.
Can I do this now? Can I give him a card when it's not my turn?
Yes, you can.
As
long as it's from hand, you can trade cards freely from hand.
I can pass you another noble, Cole, if you need one.
And do you have to be in an alliance, or it's any players?
Any players.
Well, I have a noble. I want to get a royal one.
Right.
Just for the sake of having. Just for the sake of having.
Well, I understand that.
Okay. Here is what we're going to do. I'm going to play Orc here.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Neville.
He's gonna do a trick. And then is this his southernmost position? Yes.
Yeah, you can be in Cardiff if you want, or Caerphilly, but.
And then I'm going to funny thing about the Cinque Ports. Turns out he was warden. And then that gives me control.
Troops. Ships even.
Yeah, ships. Yeah, the critical. Okay, and then that's there. Okay. And then that's 100 troops for him. Excellent.
You want your ships?
I do.
Your ships. They start in Rye.
They start in Rye.
The best of places. It's not bad, actually.
Well, it's not too bad for him, actually. So, yeah.
Paul's quite southeast.
Yeah, this is good. Okay. And then, so what we're going to do is the boats are going to move 1, 2, 3 here to Rochester. And then Arc and I need
Hastings and London. Yeah.
Let's take Somerset too.
Each boat has a capacity, which you see on the on it. These have got 150. So your fleet there has got a capacity of 300 troops.
Oh, we lost Fred.
Oh no.
Lost Fred. He's just sulking.
Yeah, he is stalking. Okay, and then that capacity is handled collectively. I don't have to worry about putting.
Correct. Yeah, it's handled collectively.
And then, so I have all these people kind of ready to hop on the boats, which means I should mark them as in the town, or does it not matter?
No, that doesn't matter. They just be in that area. That's fine.
Okay, and then these should be in port. Okay, great. So we're all ready to leave off to Calais maybe next time.
Cool.
Okay, and then towards the end of my turn, I'm going to draw a couple of these lovely cards and take the one I want.
Cole, is that Hastings in that region as well? With the base?
No, Hastings is hanging out.
Okay. Cool.
Outside of London.
Yep.
Okay.
Having a good time.
Yeah. Well, does he need to be here? I think I might send him to this royal castle.
So on the stream, no one can see us because Fred has disconnected. So
oh dear.
No one can see the map. No one can see the map.
No one can see the map. They can still see us talking.
We're just going to call it like a baseball game, like a radio.
I've got a map of France behind me, but I don't have England yet.
All right. Well, that concludes my turn. I have some guys
they're on first base.
Rochester, right? Yeah, they're on first base in Rochester, poised to hop over to Calais. And Hastings is running back to a coastal royal castle for holiday.
Okay, fantastic.
Wait, Fred now. We can chat. We can chat about the game.
We can chat, or Alan can take over Fred's turn for that as well. But I mean, it's
a good time for a chat anyway.
People in the comments have been saying how it seems like quite a snappy game, and I do really agree. Like this feels like it's clipping along way quicker than I thought it would.
I picked up the new edition when I was at UKG last year. Yeah, the year before last. When it was its debut show, and we played it every night after the con. We didn't, sometimes we didn't finish it, but it was actually easier to play than any of the complex Euros that I.
That's mad. It is pretty simple actually. Like I thought it would be a bit. I don't know. I read through the rules once and I didn't feel like I'd been tripped up at all. But I have this view of what Kingmaker was, and it's not at all what it actually is. But I mean, this is me doing Kingmaker the second. This isn't the first one. So I think there's a bit of a disconnect there.
But you can see it's a political. It's going to be. It's always the alliances and the potentially breaking of alliances and exactly what you've got that and really it's what you do with your ally that tends to work again.
So would you say it would normally end up in some kind of allied situation in most games?
It varies. Probably most games, yes. But we do have sometimes these weird situations where there's an alliance and it's getting on top, and then somebody pulls a fast one because there's only like one royal piece or two royal pieces left, and the guy thinks, "Oh, I can win on my own." I go and kill the other royal piece and just do a.
Yeah.
You don't need an alliance victory; just do an ordinary one. Yeah.
Royal.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that. My computer died, but I think it's probably this round was probably because we are at 1 hour and 45 minutes. Actually, I was wondering, can any of you maybe save the game? Because I'm thinking that it could potentially be fun to go back for a part 2 and wrap up the game.
This is a good, exciting moment to end, I think. You know, battle lines have really been drawn. Most of the royals are in our hands now. The House of Lancaster has been reunited.
Yeah, and I think that would be interesting to wrap it up if we can find a time where the 5 of us are available at the same time. Let's see. But if I don't know, Alan, if you can make a save of the game or if anyone else.
I can save that.
Save here.
Good.
Drawn our situation here. It's fine.
Yeah.
You've got it anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. I think that should be fine.
Well, of course, you're not currently in the game because it all.
I got kicked out. Molotov Cockatiel is asking. So if you are alone, you need 11 points. If you're in an alliance, you need 15. But the thing is that as an alliance, you only take the highest ranking.
Highest ranking royalties.
Royalties. So that's why it was a bit lower for Joe and I.
Would you say we're in the sort of second third, second third of the game, roughly 3/4, halfway? Like,
you're more than halfway, probably. Okay. Probably. I mean, how many cards actually have we got? Oh, there's only 3 cards to the prestige victory card tile.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay. We've got 3 event cards gone. The prestige victory. Let's just.
Oh, I didn't realize that's a
prestige victory card is there.
Nice.
So when you've done these 3, this one is available. So you can claim a prestige victory from that point.
Yeah, and that's maybe something important that people maybe wouldn't have caught up is that for a prestige victory to be possible, you need to have the prestige victory tile to become available, and that's halfway through the event deck.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And the event deck size depends on the number of players. So it varies for 2, 3, 4, 5 players.
Yeah.
So you have to set that up in advance because it controls the pacing of the game. You have to have to win with a prestige victory. You have to have that tile out. You have to have the king, and you have to have the relevant number of prestige points, and that varies per number of players as well. So, for example, the 5 player, you only need 10 prestige on your own. Good luck with that because it's quite that. I've seen it done, but it's quite hard. Or 14 with an alliance of 2 factions, or you can have 16 with an alliance of 3 factions. So you can actually have a 3-player alliance in a 5-player. I'm not seeing that happen very often.
I think that's called an ungodly alliance, isn't it?
Yeah,
pretty much.
That's for cowards. That's a coward.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I just wanted to ask each of you maybe your relationship with the game. So Joe, you said your father-in-law had an old copy, but you still haven't played it. Pierre, same. I don't think you've ever played Kingmaker
I've
before.
never played it. We did play the Cousins War at Aircon.
Yeah.
Another substantial
excellent
game. I really like this game. Genuinely really fun.
Joe and I have opposing views on this one. I really like it too.
I think Joe has wrong views.
Joe is often wrong. That's the thing. People who knows him know him.
But otherwise, no, I haven't played Kingmaker before. We were chatting when you weren't here, Fred.
And so you, Cole, you said that you were you played it before, but did you play the original one or did you go straight into the new edition?
So my first encounter with the game was at Gen Con in probably 2004 or something, and they had a huge set that they apparently play every year at Gen Con. And I remember watching the game, and then they roped me in. Anybody who's watching the game for more than 10 minutes ends up playing it, and they just sort of dealt me some cards, and I had a great time, even though it was sort of a mess in that format because those are people who are playing it with every optional rule that can be added.
Yeah.
And then I found a copy at some point and had played it a little bit. That was an era of my life where I was playing a lot of Avalon Hill games, but without really obeying all the rules. So we were filling it in as we went along, and but it was something that I played kind of in late high school and early college occasionally, and then it got supplanted by the Game of Thrones game, and so it's good to see this fresh edition is ready to compete.
Yeah.
Do you feel like those two games are really close in terms of the gameplay and game?
I think in terms of feel, Although the thing that I like about Kingmaker, and the thing, I mean, I think the Game of Thrones game, the better you get at it, the more cautious players get. And Kingmaker, because of the swings, because of the opportunity, the more you play it, the more you put yourself in positions of vulnerability, I think, which makes the game more interesting.
And do you feel like it had any influence on any of your work, or not at all?
Oh, it did. I mean, because the first time you encountered the Parliament phase, it makes you think. I think it's sort of like the Shai-Hulud card in Dune, where suddenly what you thought a board game could do just expands a little bit. Because it is amazing, and you can see some really wonderful deals broken where people are like swapping the control of the cities and the road movement. You know, you might sell a few cities to gain an important office, and it's just amazing that the game kind of allows that.
Yeah, it's quite nice. I really like how almost every War of the Roses game I've come across does it completely differently. Like Plantagenet's totally different from this. Cousins War's totally different from this. Like my favorite system, the Men of Iron, Blood and Roses, totally different focus. You know, and so I've got all these War of the Roses games, but entirely different sort of headspace.
Yeah, it's interesting because at least the first three that you mentioned are the same scale. So
the same scale, but it's a different approach, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very different approaches.
It'd be fun to maybe do, Pierre, a series on how the
I mean the Warriors of England has just come out as well.
Really that could be the third one. You know how much of a fan I am of that system, so you probably won't be playing it with me. So that's it. And for you, Alan, so did you play it originally a lot, and this is why you actually ended up working on this new version?
Yeah, I mean, I got it when it first came out in '74, I think, and I was still at school, still just at school, and we played it quite a lot when it came out. Although it was hard to decipher the rules in the early days. So there's a lot of house ruling to work, and working out what you were allowed to do is very difficult. But I played it quite a lot early on, and having done that, I was involved in the checking some stuff when the TN Games edition came out. They were looking for somebody to do things like checking the board or whatever stuff like that. So I was involved in doing that back in whatever it was, 87, something like that. 87, 88, I can't remember. I should remember the date. So I have been involved in that, and the way I got involved in the development was that at that point, Spice Day Game consisted of myself and Tony Bourdelle. Tony was working with Gibsons Games on something else, and they actually mentioned to him that they were looking to redo Kingmaker, redevelop Kingmaker, and they were looking for somebody to help with that. And Tony mentioned me, it was at UK Games Expo in something like 2019 or something like that, I think. And we hit it off immediately with the Gibsons team, and I thought, well, I love the game. I've got copies of the game, which was actually quite difficult because Gibsons was actually short of copies of their own Kingmaker game. So we had to acquire more copies from various different places, and that was quite fun. And it was a good experience actually going through, looking at all the stuff on BGG over the years, all these house rules and stuff. And there's even a tournament version which the Americans had at Origins, I think, for many years. At one of the big cons, Origins or Gen Con, I think. And so I roped in a team of 5 people who were Kingmaker experts, including Steve Froud, who did the solo challenge, and we had the leading US tournament player of Kingmaker, plus a couple of other guys as well. In fact, we had a guy who was the rules lawyer for TM Games as well, who joined us in that little bit. So a group of 5 of us who were basically vetting and commenting and criticizing all the suggestions that I was making.
Yeah.
So we had a good team of people who are working on that.
That's great.
Yeah, it's good.
Cool.
Good
but I think I would be curious to look at the rules for the base one, but I would say that this version Kingmaker 2 that we've been playing flows a lot faster and nicer than what I expected from a game of that era. But I think it's also due to the fact that maybe the map is a bit more open, a bit more clean, and all this. But I felt it was super interesting, and I would be curious to keep playing to see how the game unfolds now that we have a better understanding of what's at stake for each of us, and we can see paths to victory and potentially betrayals. That could be an option. So I think that could be quite interesting. But we're getting close to the 2-hour mark. I would like to thank all of you for being here. So thanks a lot, Alan, Joe, Cole, and Pierre for taking the time and playing tonight this awesome game. Thanks for everyone who was in the chat. It was very lively, a lot of comments. It was really, really great. So thanks a lot for everyone who's watching. And if you wish to support the show, you can like this video, you can subscribe, and eventually you can even donate on Ko-fi. And if you do, you will have access to the Discord server. So Discord server is pretty awesome. Pierre is running the Club de Jeu over there. And actually, interesting for you, Cole. Next week, we are going to play. So next Sunday, we're going to play a scenario of Library of Napoleonic Battles with Pierre, because it's currently in Le Club de Jeu. So we have a group of people who are playing together, learning and playing together the system. And we're going to be playing, I think, L'Armée d'Espagne, a scenario of L'Armée d'Espagne with
that's a small scenario. Yeah.
So if you want to drop by at any point,
I certainly will. I have cleaned out that volume multiple times.
So yeah, we'll be playing this. So it's a fun group to join.
Another point on it. The next podcast coming out for the Club de Jeu will be on Plantagenet. And in it, Stuart does a whole 20-minute recap of the history of the War of the Roses. Really well told.
And it will be out this week. So if you want to follow the Homo Ludens podcast, you can access it anywhere. And we're also posting the episodes on YouTube.
Just
now,
as context as well for the timelines of editing. In it, I reference this stream that's coming up. So
okay, I'm gonna mute you now, Pierre. But thanks everyone. Have a great evening and see you soon. So next Sunday to the latest with Pierre, when we'll be playing some Napoleonic games, and you should have a podcast and potentially a video coming up this week. Thanks everyone. See you soon.
Thank you.